So I mean, once you get to a point like this, it's at that point when you're probably going to want to. Let me delete my game res here. From this point, though, we're going to need to put a division in this. I like to use detach component. And now I can separate this model out and basically, you know, combine this together, and then this becomes a separate piece. It's my little ninja slice there, okay? So then, you know, now my work is sectioned off so I can start chopping some pieces out of this. Work together here with the high res and the game res, okay? Now, this part was the challenging part because it's going around a corner, okay? And there was a taper to the whole effect there. The whole thing went in. So, but shapes like this right here are very flat. That isn't something that we have to put a lot of effort into. That could be us doing the same thing that we did here, but just to a straight plane, and then just kind of level it out as best we can. Okay, so that kind of stuff we shouldn't really have to worry about too much. In fact, I mean, what we can do, what you guys can do for that model is you should be able to orient some points and start working off of it. I don't know if you guys can snap a lot of that stuff though. That's gonna be weird. Angle snapping is not something I'm used to, but I know that it's out there. That you could probably do some angle snapping too. I would recommend looking at the some hotkeys, because I know that there's probably some hotkeys out there that'll let you kind of angle snap to what's already there. I'll have to look at that one because I haven't really used it a lot. And you may be saying, Harvey, you know, how do you not know anything about angle snapping? It's just not something I've investigated into a lot of time. I've done so much stuff, and there's still tools that I haven't even tried out here. But now that I got this guy chopped up, and we still have just a little bit more time, what I'm gonna do is probably some piece connection here. I think this shape's probably my next challenge. Is this cutting shape right there? I'm actually gonna exit out of Substance Painter. No need to even save this because it's just a test. What I need to do here though is make a new cube. And you know what would be good is actually here. I'm gonna try this out. I want to try to duplicate the bevel that I did for the whole entire shape here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to enlarge. I want the fraction to be just right. So I'm going to enlarge this shape to try to match up with what we already did. And I'm gonna see if we can get that bevel kind of close to what we already did there. Hold on 1 minute. Alrighty. So I'm gonna grab those edges and we'll do another bevel here. Way too much, bro. Chill it out a bit. Segments. Get some segments in there as well. Let's take a few segments out actually. You know, we don't want this thing to be too dense, really. Let me move this guy just a little bit slightly here. I should be able to go back to that bevel. Okay. There we go. Alright, go back to the bevel and let's see if I can improve the fraction. There we go. That's getting kind of close to what we had earlier. So it's like a 0.1 fraction basically. Not too bad. Alright, so now kind of come over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of use this as like a chopping shape for my side there. I'm not really gonna chop anything. Sorry, it's supposed to be on this side. But you notice it's got a little bit of a curve to it, so we want to keep that curvature there. We want that to be there. And it does look like it goes straight down and straight, so there is like a 90-degree cut in that happens there too. Let's see if we can line this up. It does kind of come like straight, like almost to this, to where it begins to bevel. So that looks pretty good, actually. Now we're not going to chop completely out of it, so you know what? Let me isolate these guys out here. There we go. I'm trying to find my little division there. But here we are, though. We're trying to. Oh, got too much selected there. We're trying to see how this thing intersects. And just using this guy like a reference shape almost. I mean, we're gonna use him. In fact, you know what I'm probably gonna do here is I'm gonna do a ninja slice. All right, let me show that off here in a minute. Okay, so we have like a flat line there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Is I'm gonna come off the model like this, and just attack it with this angle, and then. And I basically just like forced this thing, I forced a boolean onto it basically. If we look at this guy isolated, I just did that right there. And that's my little ninja slice thing. So I'm already setting this model up to do that. Let's pull these guys together and get things back to where they need to be. Nice, right? I'm going to let me look at edges here. We're gonna try to match this guy up like this. Okay. And maybe do another one down here. Let's keep this going. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna collapse a lot of this stuff down. I just want these things to kind of line up. I want to give myself some connection points here first, and then we'll worry about deleting and collapsing geometry down afterwards, okay? We're just kind of lining some stuff up. I need to also do the same thing for the sides here. Woof. Okay, so that's not working for my sides actually, because we're actually at a rectangular or a triangular shape there. So here's what I'm gonna do is I'm going to skip this song, please. Sure. Gonna grab some random thing. You guys can skip songs, no problem. So just to straighten this out, I'm just gonna scale it. Just scale it flat and kind of line it back up again. Do the same thing over here. Get an edge loop. I'll just scale it flat in one axis and kind of line it up to where it needs to be. And we'll kind of call that a day for that one as well. Okay. Actually, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna finish up this ninja slice. I want to get rid of everything else, so I'm going to detach. I just selected that edge loop. It should select automatically. I should be able to delete this guy, and my my little ninja slice stayed there. Okay. And now we got some geometry in here, and I should be able to delete as well. Hot dog. Let me reverse this guy inside out here. Just go to mesh display and reverse. Okay, and now things are not looking too bad. I can, you know what, let me grab this guy, insert some edge loops here for that. Okay. I think our next step is going to be combining these two together so they can interact with each other. Grab the vertices that are next to each other. They shouldn't be too bad if you snap them together. Hopefully you line stuff up pretty good. This guy did not line up very well, so let me grab this edge loop here. Just kind of pull them closer. Feel free to do a little bit of geometry manipulation here. Try to keep the, you know, the way that I'm working right now, I'm trying to keep the angle still there, okay? No problem. Zappy zappies. So I can even just grab this guy. You know, it's not messing with my curve any, because I'm only moving it along the axis that's there. So I'm only moving it in this direction. That's still keeping my curve there, which is good. Just merge it to the center. Merge you. Now that's kind of conflicting there a little bit. So I would say this guy probably needs to come in for the, because I'm guessing that my ninja slice wasn't perfect. So right now I would prefer to work with this with the line that's already here. Work with the line that they already gave us. And I'm gonna snap these guys in place here. Actually, let me bring you just a little bit closer. Just kind of bridge the difference there, right? Oh, I grabbed too much. Merge the center. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can readjust your pivots by holding D and snapping to an edge. Definitely. If I already know my edges are straight though, that's a huge saving of time there with that. Merging these guys to center. Once again, I'm gonna rely on the green because the green is closer to real. The green was closer to the angle that I wanted. I'll just triangulate what's happening right there once we get to it. Okay, let me move this guy over here like that. And we'll just snap him in place. Merge it to center. You see it's trying to round me out there. Bring you as close to possible there. I'll drag you over to here now. Okay, and I should be able to just come in here and just fill this hole. And now I just assign the whole model. Let's give him that brilliant Fong 1 color. And now I've got that shape kind of cut in there. We should soften this up, which is not going to look really good. We're going to need a bevel here. Okay, we're going to need a bevel to get this thing looking good. I am going to swipe away my Fong 1 once again, just really distracting those pure colors. Let's see what a bevel gets us now. A bevel should be able to hold on to my forms. I don't think I need a bevel on the top. The top's pretty soft. Just a little bevel there. And now I come in and start collapsing some things down. Collapse. You know, these whole faces can collapse. I don't know what I'm doing here. Merge the face to center. Perfect. Face. Do the same thing over here. Outstanding. Okay, so that's been justified there. I probably don't need this edge loop. This guy is not doing too bad. So we can get rid of him. Stand by. Yes, my spawn. All right. Good old online education. Here we are, though. Okay. Now, okay, something I am noticing here, though, is that this probably needs to be a little bit straighter. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this guy this way and see if I can just kind of straighten that line a little bit more. I want that to be a lot straighter. And these guys can probably do the same thing. Just kind of bring you on this way. There we go. Ooh, baby. Shouldn't be any real like stretching or crazy shapes in there. Let me let's try a blend. You guys should be modeling with some kind of blend or Lambert on, probably. Excuse me, so we can see what's happening. Okay, so now I'm getting a little bit of pulling from this over here. That's a kind of a long triangle for that. And you know what? I think I want to take a safer approach with this. So let me try something else here. I'm going to delete these edges. I'm going to go to multi-cuts and just take it up one more spot and then triangulate it at the top. Okay? So just take it up a little bit. Try to level it up. And let's see how that helped us. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit of triangulation, but at least it's going up instead of sideways now, because that was a long area that is pretty nasty. let me see if we can fix this now, because we might be able to get rid of this triangulation. If I hold D here and reorient to the face and try to scale the face in a little bit, that should do us a service here in flattening that out, and it looks like it did. It looks like it did. Let me soften again. Still getting a little something there. It's faint. It's very faint. I think my little scaling operation there was a little bit, made things a little bit too different. It's not too bad in 3 mode, truthfully, though. I mean, 3 mode may be able to get rid of that little triangle for us. You know, we may want to just pull it around a little bit. I'm not quite certain. Or maybe we just need to triangulate it a little bit differently. Could also be a solution for us to kind of pull it in this way. Maybe that will affect a little bit. I wouldn't worry too much about, you know, little areas like that. We also, you know, I would say as well that we're probably gonna need like a holding edge up here anyways. So we actually, let me try something else out. Let me try beveling this shape and seeing if I can reconnect my topology there. Get rid of these tiny little edges. Collapse those guys in. Collapse these guys too, probably. Oh, there we go. That's all we needed, was just a little bevel up there. Because it just, you know, I had to send it somewhere. So now this should be a great opportunity. You know, I also got some triangulation going on down here. You can't, there's just no end. There's no end to it. I don't know if this guy looks like he's lining up really well. This looks a little bit offset. I think our bevel may have taken us a little bit too far, but let's see if just triangulating this thing can fix that. You know, putting your own triangles in there is gonna give you some good stuff and help your model understand what exactly you're looking for here. Yeah, it's still a little crazy. Still just a tad bit. Just pulling it out a little bit, maybe. We'll fix that. Yeah. There's no escape. No escape. Okay, so, you know, if you guys ever feel uncertain about some of this stuff, you can always come into that side view and just know, yeah, it's lining up perfectly. There's no deviation in that, so there's some deformation that's happening there that it doesn't like. Maybe the other triangulation will make this better. So let's try triangulating the other way. Take it manually there. Oh my goodness. Soften it. What are you trying to do? Yeah, it's a little less noticeable now at least. Okay, and it's area number 1. We still have another one to do over here. This one's not as intense though. This is kind of like a bubble, just a bubble inwards. It's not a directional angle like that. You know, we certainly want to be doing some bevels in here, and there's also like a drop down over here. This is not going to be an easy shape, but I want to give a little bit more support for what we're doing here. Now, we do still have some collapsing to do. Try to get that done in the areas that are not going to be seen. So now we're going to collapse some geometry down. Let me see if I can get away with just like this. Keep the topology that's good and collapse the other topology that's bad. Okay, so I'm going to just press up to grab everything that I want. Let's get one less one. There we go. And just get collapse. And now we're collapsing that stuff and keeping it from messing with the rest of my model. You know, I may not want some holding edges up here. So I'm going to press up. Let's take that one out too. This one, and let it collapse down here on the sides and see how that works for us there. Same thing over here. Keep what's there, and right here probably. Keep the triangles from interfering, but then when we deal with some simpler shapes over on this side, send it away. Got one more over here we can take out. Take them down. Take them down. Okay. Doesn't look like I mess with the model any. But if I want to do some extra stuff over here, I'm going to want to make sure that I'm collapsing as I go. You know, I actually may, I probably, I should have seen how like this detail is probably going to line up with that, because that may help out a little bit. You don't know. But, you know, our knobs are going to be right here. Not cubes, cylinder knobs. And they're going to be able to come out at the right angle. You know, I won't be trying to stab these shapes in there. They should be doing the right thing. And thankfully, you know, I have some good geometry here too. To the point where I can make this longer or shorter or offset it a little bit even. Grab some of this stuff, and let's say that, you know, hey, Harvey, you're just a little bit too close to the middle. And we can kind of offset this whole guy together. You know, so if I wanted to be just a little bit off there, moving that whole thing is not going to affect anything really. It's going to give me more room to put some buttons and that antenna over there as well. All right. So I've gone a little bit over today. Does anyone have any questions on what I've done? I'm going to save this out and probably make this an ongoing production to help out any students that might be struggling.